Hi there, folks. Welcome to the presentation. We have Mike King is going to give us a description of the processes and the systems that we develop here at Schmalz in our gripping systems group, palletizing, depalletizing, and some of the new products that we have that are coming up here in the world for you. Mike King is a product manager and applications engineer here at Schmalz. He's been here for about 5 years. Working with us, and I've worked with him in the past. He's a good guy and a good presenter, so it should be a good show. I'm going to turn it over to Mike now. Oh, one more thing. I will ask that we hold questions until the end of Mike's presentation, and then I'll open up lines. So use your hand raising, or if you have a question during the time, I'll try to answer it myself if you'd like to put a chat question in. All right, Mike, it's all you.
All right. Hey, thanks guys for jumping on. We have a lot of information to go over on some general applications that we come across on a day-to-day basis. So we've got about 30 minutes to get through all this. We have a lot of pictures and videos and good stuff like that to show. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay. All right, so we just had the intro. We'll go over some palletizing, some depalletizing, dealing with single products, rows of products, layers of products. And then we'll jump into some new standard products that our headquarters over in Germany is working on right now, and some that's going to be released here later this year. And then we'll have the questions like Mark mentioned earlier to go over. Here's our team, Team Blue. We take pride in being a team over here. This is our systems team, so we have two other teams over here at Schmalz, but we specifically work on end-of-arm tooling for gantries and robotic applications. So we have a team of designers, project engineers, and then application engineers like myself. And then we also have another group that's about the same size that deals with nothing but components. So they specialize on all the vacuum generators, suction cups, and that kind of thing. So we work together with them to provide you with the best solution possible. I like to add this in here where you could consider us a value-added supplier. Most people will say that you'll get fast quote turnarounds from us. We have a vast bank of application experience. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff out there. And then we also do robot testing for free, which is pretty neat. Which I can show you a little video of our cell if you haven't seen it. But we have tool changers from ATI. We work with them close down the road, and we have different suction cup plates that we can use, foam plates to pick up all kinds of different products, from boxes to shrink wrap to individual products that may be going into a box. So I'll just show you this quick video here real quick, just so you can see what we have downstairs. And we'll do this testing for free as long as we can test it on our robot here, and we could send you videos. So this is one of our foam grippers right here that we would use in the wood industry. And then also some customers use it for picking pallets. And it runs off compressed air and has a plate that you can quick change on the bottom if you need to change the foam out, which is a nice feature. So now we're switching over to our suction cup gripper, and we'll go pick up a slip sheet and then put some boxes on the pallet. Just to give you an idea of some of the different things we can do. All right. So let me go ahead and jump over to the next thing that I'm going to show you. So we'll get into palletizing. So a lot of people will see single case palletizing where you're just dealing with one box at a time, which could be a pretty simple tool. You may only need 4 to 6 suction cups if you're dealing with pretty much the same boxes at the same time. But where we're very good at is when you're dealing with a variety of products. So if you have lots of different box types and you may have uncovered area, so that's kind of what we're known for, is how to deal with leakage in the vacuum system. So one of those types of products is our FXP that you see here. So this is just a standard extruded gripper that we're putting a mounting flange onto, which makes a real simple box gripper that could grip a wide variety of different boxes. We sell that quite a bit, or you could just buy the grippers yourself and then put a flange on it. You could make your own flange and design it. The nice thing about this is it has built-in suction and blow-off valves, so you don't have to supply any kind of extra valve on the outside. Everything's good to go on this one. And then you'll see more custom grippers. We had an application dealing with large, heavy tobacco boxes, so we needed to make a custom gripper to maximize our holding force on the boxes we were dealing with in that particular one. And then that one, we ended up using a blower, but that's more like what a custom type single box gripper would look like. And then you can get very custom on these types of grippers. Here's an application where we had to pick boxes that were very long, up to 300 pounds, but then also, about 7 feet long, I think those boxes were. But then we had boxes that were all the way down to, I think, a foot long. So, and then they were varying, dimensions. So we had different zones on this gripper. So it could get very complicated even if you still are just handling one box type. Here's a little short video. I'll probably kind of blow through it a little bit, but this just shows this single box gripper right here using our standard FXPs. This is actually depalletizing, but you could use it for palletizing or depalletizing. So then next, after single product or single case gripping, we have row grippers. And this is where you're picking a row of boxes and then placing a row, or as you can see down here for this particular application, we had 22 different pallet patterns we had to deal with. And then so we had to make zones to be able to form the different pallet patterns. So one of the most important things that we can get from you or you can get from your customer is what those pallet patterns are, and then what does the pick and place sequence look like? Am I picking 4 boxes and placing 4, or next time I'm going to pick 4, then place 2 boxes? So that's something really important that we look for, and we actually take all the different pallet patterns, the pick and place sequences for these row type grippers, and lay it out to make sure that our zones are 100% correct. So we'll do zone grippers with suction cups, and then also you'll see foam over here. And then we also do, I don't know if you know, but we'll do all the IO termination back to a valve bank here, and these valves control our vacuum valves on this big manifold here. Then we'll also put a rotary connection, which is going to improve your hose life, so it's not just bending there, it's able to rotate with the actual gripper itself. So I'll show you a little video of what one of those sort of looks like. And this was picking, I think, up to 60-pound boxes of motor oil for that particular one. These grippers can get complicated because you are looking at all these different pallet patterns, but we're pretty good at it. We've done it for quite a few years on being able to quote these pretty quickly. But a lot does go into making a row gripper versus maybe a single box gripper or even a layer gripper. On row grippers, sometimes customers may want to add other features such as pallet handling. So we add that to these types of grippers as well. So we'll have a pallet hook system with cylinders that extend and retract the hooks. And then on all of our row gripping type systems, we like to fold the hooks up out of the way so they don't get smashed on anything during any of the robot movements. I think I have a video here too. So this is a standard gripper our headquarters made out of our FMP type grippers. So you could even do something like this pretty simple with standard type components. If we don't use mechanical hooks like this, we also make foam grippers. So some customers will grip the pallet with foam, but that could also lessen the life of the foam if you have nails or if your pallets are very rough. So just something to think about there. And then with suction cups, of course, you're going to have to use mechanical hooks. Handling slip sheets. We do this quite a bit different ways. We've had a lot of grippers lately. We've put these actuators on that get the cups, extend the cups down to pick slip sheets, and then retract the cup back up. We've done them hard mounted with just brackets off to the side. We've had them flush mounted with the plenum, this metal plate here, and then just dedicated vacuum circuit going to them, and then also on spring plungers like you see here, just for whatever reason for that application. And then on some of these larger layer grippers, we've also done it going through the plenum with actuators like this, but then we'll have it, sometimes we may have to clamp a pallet or some kind of top frame depending on the type of application that you have, and you may have these arms that swing down, so then sometimes we'll put cups on these arms. Here's just a little video showing what that looks like. And the reason we want to have a dedicated slip sheet circuit in most cases is because you don't want to suck through, you know, multiple slip sheets and then your robot goes to pick up, and then before you know it, you have 5 slip sheets attached to your gripper. So now we'll go over palletizing layers. Here's a recent gripper that we did, just shipped out, just to show you an example of what those may look like. This particular one did have the dedicated slip sheet cups, so you can see over here we have tubing going to 4 different areas where there's suction cups below that are dedicated just for picking those slip sheets. So you can pick layers of boxes with these types of layer grippers, cans, aerosol cans, all kinds of different things. And then product that's not even in its overpack box, so maybe like some Raisin Bran or some sort of cereal, something like that, Pop-Tarts. So our layer grippers, we call them SPZ. And then this is what the nice thing I was telling you about earlier is we're able to deal with leakage pretty well. So here in this picture, you can see we're picking half of a layer, but sometimes you'll run into customers who have straggler boxes and they want to palletize the last box. There's only one box that they want to build a pickup at the end after forming all these layers. So we have a lot of experience with sizing these systems and building these grippers. And so we could even pick up a whole layer and then pick up one box just to put on the top of the pallet. Then here's our SPZMC, our SPZM layer gripper. So the M stands for layer gripper with clamping. So this is maybe where you have a situation where you're trying to palletize something that's very heavy. Maybe there's, it's just a very difficult product to handle. And here's a video of what this actual gripper looks like. And these are our cardboard boxes that are shrink wrapped. And I think they are frozen in this particular application. For palletizing layers, you could do single box just like the FXP example I showed you earlier, or with a custom type gripper, usually using some sort of vision system to detect the box that you're going to pick. But then we also have a large gripper called SPZMC, and that's used for picking mixed pallets. So you may have one layer of Dr. Pepper on one layer, and then just cardboard boxes below, and so on and so on. So this uses a lot of different gripping principles. I'll go ahead and get the video going here because that'll do more than me explaining it. So we have curtains here that suck around the layer. That's called global vacuum, because you're sucking around the layer. So that's good. You have to use that for some application types. So we're clamping to the side and then sucking around the side. Then here, we're just picking cardboard boxes. You may not necessarily need curtains. They're using them in this case, but a lot of times we'll just use, there's also suction cups that are inside of this gripper that you could use for picking boxes. And what that does, that'll increase your cycle time so you don't have to worry about clamping to the side if you can just use suction cups that are on the inside. We also have Z-axis adjustment, as you can see here. So we're able to clamp to the right spot on the box, depending on the product type. So you can also pick slip sheets, pick pallets, shrink wrap material, boxes, buckets. You can see these cans in the trays here. So this is really meant for some sort of like distribution type center with that has incoming goods. So picking the pallet. Here's another depalletizing gripper that we've come up with for mixed layer. So mixed layer meaning like a hand stack, so like a human hand stacked a pallet. So that's what this would be. You have varying box heights, box sizes. So what you need in this type of scenario is a gripper that has a lot of compensation. And basically you're going to go down and try to, with the robot, drive the robot down and pick as many boxes as possible. So I'll show you a video of what this looks like. Here's another interesting gripper that we've built quite a bit recently, dealing with open paint cans. And I just wanted to show you just a close-up of every gripper that we build. We do a walk-around video just to also get pictures and videos of it to document it. But for this application, we've picked gallon paint cans, quart paint cans. It's always typically blower powered, and we use a reversing valve. And the reason for that is releasing the cans, because you have so much volume in the can to release. You have to use a powerful blow off of some sort. And so since we're using a blower, we use a reversing valve to send pressure back out to the gripper. So that just gives you an idea of what it looks like in real life. You'll see a lot of components here you may not see online also, like this big blue valve. That's something that we sell. All these different plates here, hose connectors. If you're somebody or an integrator that likes to build your own types of grippers, we can sell these types of parts to you also to make plumbing and stuff like that easier. That robot mounting flange, you can buy that as well. A lot of that stuff's not found online, so just ask us. We have so many different parts that you don't even know exists right now. This isn't related to robots, but it's something kind of interesting you may find interesting, maybe not everybody, but we also work with our ergonomic lift division for putting these layer type grippers, or we'll do row grippers and single box type grippers onto some sort of tube lifter or servo hoist. So something kind of neat if a customer's not willing to spend money on a robot cell. This could really help them out for improving their throughput at a pretty low cost. So this is picking boxes of paint. I also have some other servo hoist versions of this that I could show you if anybody's interested afterwards. But this would be the tube lifter version right here. So on to some of our new types of products. This one isn't very new, but it's something that's one of the first products for our cobot portfolio. We're something that we've spent a lot of money developing, new types of grippers for cobots and bin picking. But this is our electric vacuum pump, so it doesn't use any compressed air. It's called our EC BPI. So it's all electric. It's energy efficient, easy to use. You can actually use NFC to hold your phone up to the gripper and program it. There's different types of connections, grippers that you can add to the bottom of it, whether it's our VE, or I'll show you another product that's 3D printed here in just a second that you can also attach. This is a 10 kg payload, and it's part of the UR Plus program as well. One of the things though, it is an electric vacuum generator. So typically this is going to be used for applications where the product's not very heavy or the product's non-porous. So that's where the niche this kind of product falls into. It'd be good for a mobile robot type of application, is somewhere where you could use this. And here's just the smaller little brother, the EC BPM. It's even smaller, up to 3 kg payload. You can also drive and program the inputs and outputs using this little guy. But again, not something where it's a light part and non-porous is the type of application that this will be good for. There's the gripper. You can mount different types of cups to it as well. Here's a neat one that we have that just came out, our Schmalz lightweight gripper. So this is we have a configurator online where you can totally configure this gripper. You can load your part file into it. As you can see that they're doing here, they're loading one of these flex lifting handles. It's used in our manual handling division. And then it basically spits out a gripper that will conform to the part that you need to handle. You'll have to place the suction cups where you want them, and it'll tell you how much holding force you need and all that good stuff. And then it'll spit out a model in the end too. You can use a internal vacuum generation, so a Venturi, or you can use an electric pump, something like that, or even this EPBCI over here is mounted to the top on this particular one. Our FXCB, FMCB, this has been a very popular product. You've probably seen it on a lot of other videos out there from other people. It's good at handling partial coverage up to 35 kg, so you can use it with that big FANUC collaborative robot. You can get foam or suction cups. Has a nice integrated vacuum switch here. Nice round contours, a foam side, so it's very good for collaborative types of applications. It has built-in suction and blow-off valves inside of here, and this is actually better dealing with porous type material versus that EPBCI. Here's a new gripper that we have coming out for bin picking, and a new suction cup. This bin picker will be available around August 2020. So it has a new suction cup called the SVE, which is good at edge gripping, so picking on the edges of products like you see on this aerosol bottle. It also has a swivel module, so you can rotate the head 45 degrees to get into those corners on bins. Also, another neat feature is it has a quick change adapter. So we have examples of tool holders set up where you have different types of suction cups mounted to the quick change, where you can just program your robot to go over and pick up a new suction cup. Say it needs to pick boxes or some sort of bag or something like that, and you may need a different suction cup versus the SVE. It has integrated vacuum generator, an integrated vacuum switch. It has ports for blow off if you want to use blow off. Again, really neat. I'll show you a video that I shot. I just got this the other day and was testing in the lab with it. But there you can see it flex. Our headquarters has some other better videos showing. Here, let me go back to that aerosol can. So that SVE cup, again, it's good at picking on the edges of products. We're going to start selling some vision and 3DR sets. So it'll come with a projector, the vision camera. and it'll have all the software to integrate directly with the robot, so you can be up and running very quickly. Initial release, it's going to be only available, we'll only have the UR software modules, but we're going to slowly start adding other robot manufacturers on so we can work with their controllers as well. So not released yet, but coming out soon. I saw the guys downstairs testing with it today. So you'll see that coming. And that's it. And we're right at our 30-minute mark. So I think if we have any questions, Mark.
Yay, Mike, you timed that out pretty perfectly. You had it timed out perfect. I don't see any questions, but if anybody wants to raise their hand, and if you have an application you'd like to discuss or any questions on the content of what Mike has provided here. I failed to introduce myself earlier. I'm Mark Westfall. I do the marketing here at Schmalz. And basically, after this presentation, you'll receive an email from us giving you some of the handouts and video links, as well as a link to this presentation. So if you want to share it or use it for later reference, you're welcome to. There are handouts in your dashboard there that you can download. A piece on gripping systems in general. We have a piece on the collaborative pieces that Mike was just talking about, and there's another one on the accessory parts.
Also, even if you don't have any questions, let us know what other types of webinars you want to see. This is pretty general, but we can go into focus on different types of applications or different types of industries. So that's something we're interested in too, even if you don't have a question on what you saw here today.
And we have a couple of our salespeople in here that handle systems. If any of you folks have anything that you'd like to add or make comments, that would be appreciated as well. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. My contact information is here on the presentation. So if you have questions, comments, or would like to make a recommendation outside of this forum, you're welcome to do so. Send those inquiries to me. Thank you, Mike, for the presentation. Doesn't look like we have any questions. I'm going to wrap it up.
All right. Have a good day, guys.
Oops, 1 second. There is a question here. Let me see, Mark Kelly. Bag gripping with vacuum.
Yeah, we do that depending on what type of bag it is. If you have like 50-pound type bags with maybe spices or chemicals, we have specific bag grippers for that. But then we also have suction cups dedicated just to handling bags as well.
50 pounds of sugar is what he's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I have some 50-pound bags of something that I'm testing here over the past week I had.
Yeah, Mark, if you'd like a video of that.
A lot of times with these bags, it is good to test though, because they're all different. They're all filled. Maybe they're not filled very well. Maybe they're like bricks and packed to the brim. So it's good to, in general, to test, and it's something we could test if you wanted to send it in. We could test it and send you a video.
Cool. Well, nothing else is popping up. Oops, there it is. Nope, we're all good. Thank you, Mike.
Yep.
And thank you, everybody, for joining. Appreciate it.